What up, homies of the internet? This is lugnuts.guapo coming at you from Longhorn, Harley-Davidson. And today, I'm riding this, a 2016 Roadster, which seems to be, I don't know why that is, because I think this is an interesting bike when it comes to like people buying it, riding it, and I don't know, it's a good looking bike. I think it's just a tad bit away from being the perfect sportster. Has a cafe racer look to it, inverted forks, taller suspension. I mean, that bulletproof motor and transmission. It's a good looking bike, and reliable, awesome looking. But for some reason, people seem to like it, but you don't see many of these out there. At least I haven't. Anywho, let's get cracking and roll the tape. Oh man, let's see. Let's get this little adjustment here. Alright. Alright, so obviously this one might have a stage 1. Actually, no, I could take that back. It does have a stage 1. Got your high flow, your Vance and Hines short shots, and your tuner. So even same 1200 Evo motor. And man, one thing that I do like a lot about the speed on this is that you got your tachometer right there, and your miles per hour will be down below. So I like that. Let's get cracking. Whew. I just feel like that GoPro is so close to my face. There's really not much I can do about it. There's not many other places to mount it. Anywho. So, Roadster, I really like what this bike looks like and rides like. It's a fun bike, man. The positioning, like my legs are just, everything about this bike is just, it's awesome. It's comfortable for what it is, for the style that it is. Cafe racer. Got your mid controllers. You're leaned over a little bit. The obviously the bars have to do a lot with that. Just pulling you forward, so it gives you that aggressive stance or aggressive seating position. Now, all the techs that I know of, that I've talked to about this bike in particular, they all love a lot of the things that came on this bike stock. Basically, you got inverted suspension. It's not raked out like an FXDR or a breakout. Like, it's perfect. And not to mention, you get that taller suspension, which there's a reason why these club style bikes, all these Dynas are getting these 13 and up size and shocks. That's because it allows for more leaning angle, and this bike has it stock. Really, at some point, Harley, in my opinion, should have maybe caught onto that club style wave, because it's been out for a very, very long time. And maybe they should have had a couple Dynas with taller suspension and inverted front forks. I think those would have sold pretty quickly. But anywho, why is this almost the perfect sportster? I mean, it is. Listen, it's a comfortable bike despite the aggressive stance. I wouldn't ride this on a long trip. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could. It's just probably not the best idea. You got a 5-speed transmission. I mean, The guts are, I mean, if you ran the 48, if you ran any other Sportster, even including the 883, you know how the transmission is geared. And if you're going on 1200, you know the power that this thing puts out, and it doesn't really weigh that much. Let's see if I downshift real quick. Get past this car, and oh yeah. Yeah, this, man. So why these things, why then, like, full disclosure, over at Maverick, when I was doing sales, we had 2016s that we had a hard time getting rid of. But yet people say, like, you hear it over and over again, people really like this bike. It looks great. And the whole cafe racer, like, deal that's going on, I mean, people want cafe racers, so why didn't they buy 1200 Sportster, or Roadster in this case? Let's clean this thing. Oh yeah. Oh man. You know what? I think I'm gonna take this on the highway. I'm just curious. So I think, in my opinion, in my brain, the reason why these didn't sell as quickly or weren't as popular, because in 2017 I rarely saw one of these on a showroom floor. So, and of course there's multiple reasons for that, one of them being that Harley seemed to, like, really, like, narrow down their production on these Sportsters, or Sportsters in general, because of the new Softail lineup that came out. So at least that's what it was given to me as information that I should trust. So take it as it is, with a grain of salt, or a large grain of salt. So you didn't see really very many of these to begin with last year, but on 2016 there was quite a bit of them. All right, what is this fool doing? Okay, gotcha. This construction, man, it's crazy. Let's see. Oh, great, now I hit water. Oh, that's just fantastic. That just sucks. All right, so when I think cafe racers, you look at all these other bikes, you know, Suzuki GS's, you know, all these, like, 1980s, you know, BMWs and whatnot. I mean, they're budget bikes. And that's kind of what cafe racers are, and that's kind of what bobbers are. I've done, you know, you think about this new street bob, and the previous street bob, they were kind of like the, you know, your bare bones, low budget kind of bikes. And the cafe racers, that's, I mean, from what I've observed, they all low budget, bare bones, and I mean, Roadsters, they're, you know, above 10 grand. Somewhere above 10 grand is MSRP. So they're not necessarily like the low budget that everybody wants when they think of a cafe racer. So yeah, maybe it's the price. Maybe it's the price point. But for what you get at that price point, you're getting a bulletproof motor and transmission, a good-looking bike, and it's a Harley-Davidson. But yeah, maybe that's why we didn't sell that many. Because honestly, it's a good-looking bike. Do you think it's a good-looking bike? Let me know. Comment below. All right. Let's see how this thing does on the highway. So far, the suspension is, I mean, super responsive. I haven't leaned it too hard, but hitting bumps, stuff like that, I mean, it's a comfortable ride. And when you hit the throttle and you lean in, tuck in, oh, it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling. Man, there's just too many cars, man. All the joys of living in Dallas. It's like traffic 24/7. Let's see, should I take 360 south or north? Let's go north. Oh, well, in a straight line, this thing is awesome. I'm cruising about 70 miles an hour. Ooh, slow down. Let's go in this lane next to it. So, let's see. Man, you hit that front brake, that suspension is pretty cool. It's not, I mean, it's firm, but it's not rigid, if that makes any sense. You hit it and it slowly goes. I mean, you have a lot of control when you slow down with your front brake. Now, there's some occasions where you shouldn't do that, but you're going a straight line, you hit that front brake, man, you can really feel the suspension in action in that when you do that. You know, I usually don't like short shots, but I really like what they sound like on this bike. Oh man. You know, other than the reasons I just gave you, I really don't understand why we had a hard time selling these bikes. And you really don't see these bikes out in public, at least I haven't. Maybe Dallas is not for cafe racers. And to be quite honest, now that I think about it, I haven't seen that many cafe racers, period. Now I did, you do find them on like Craigslist and, you know, just online, people selling bikes that, oh, this could be your cafe racer project. Oh my gosh. Come on, people. Let's see how it leans right here. Oh my god. Going in and out of corners, it is quite fun. Oh man, I wish I had that clear lane, man. Alright, let's get on the highway once again. Oh my gosh. Speed! Oh, and hitting that front brake, man. Holy crap. Inverted suspension, man. It's unreal how in control this bike makes you feel. See, 3,000 RPM, I'm doing about 60. And I believe I'm in 4th gear. Yep. That's not bad, man, for a 5-speed transmission bike. Oh man, this bike is a lot more fun than people give it credit for. And I think all the hipsters that don't buy these bikes, or when I say these, I mean roadsters, they probably don't have the money to afford it to begin with, but they probably wouldn't ride it like it was meant to be ridden. Not at all. Oh man, what a joy it is to ride this bike. This is an awesome commuter. Real awesome. I really wish there was like 0 cars in front of me, because every time you downshift, oh, what a joy it is to ride this bike. Amazing. You know, this bike does not suck by any stretch of the imagination. If you don't like this seating position, well, you know, whatever. But you can't say that this is a bad bike. Just like leaning into this curve and then hitting the throttle. Oh man. This is great. That sound! Power! Oh, what an exciting motorcycle right here. Hey, if you're gonna check this out, take it for a test ride, call us at 972-988-1903. You can schedule a test ride, make it yours, and get some wind therapy. Also check us out on Instagram at Longhorn_HD. Also on Facebook at Longhorn Harley-Davidson. Of course on YouTube, click that subscribe button. Make sure you're joining the party. And yeah, check us out on SoundCloud as well. Check us out on what else? Oh yeah, iTunes. Check us out on iTunes. Good times. I talk to all the people that work here at your Longhorn Harley-Davidson dealership and at Maverick Harley-Davidson. And yeah, so anywho, I totally just spaced out. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. In the meantime, get on your Harley and get some wind therapy. Later. Oh, man. Oh, this bike is great. This bike is so much